Hello, everyone. This is Colin with the Detroit Lions podcast. Here again today for our latest installment of our prospect list. Today, we're going to talk about some linebackers, looking at some of the guys that could be early day 3, mid to late day 2 in that range. And then we'll get into some of the bigger names in some future videos. A couple of names I'm going to touch on seem to be everywhere in Lions mock drafts that I've seen. Chad Mumma and Jojo Dolman. Lions fans seem to love these two guys, and for good reason. The last one's going to be Kwai Walker. So let's get into it. So first linebacker we're going to get into today is Chad Mumma from Wyoming, 6'3", 229. Like I said, this is one of the favorite guys I've seen among Lion fans in their mock drafts. Great combine, 4.63 40, 40-inch vert, and 10.9 broad jump. All super impressive for his size. He led the nation in tackles in 2021 with 145 total and 85 solo. He's going to be a 3-down linebacker at the NFL level. He's great in the run game, getting downhill and making tackles as evidenced by leading the nation in that category. And then he's also one of the best cover linebackers in the entire draft. I'd say he's also one of the best tacklers in this class as well. When he makes a tackle, he very rarely gets knocked back, giving up extra yardage. He's usually knocking the running back and taking away that extra yardage. Gets downfield and covers tight ends and running backs, even to the third level. Very great change of direction. He has great hips, which gives him the ability to cover wide receivers across the middle of the field in the flats. He struggles with this, obviously, into the third level, but most linebackers aren't going to be covering wide receivers into that deep. They're usually passing them off to the safeties or the corners. He's got great understanding of route combinations and is able to position himself to break up a pass or make a play based on his football IQ. He's got elite instincts and recognition, which allows him to often anticipate where these routes are going to be going. If he sees sort of the running back or the tight end breaking out, he knows if he's in zone coverage, oftentimes that wide receiver is going to be coming in towards him. So he's great at picking that up and knowing where it's going to be happening with that. He's a great leader. We heard a lot about this at the Senior Bowl in Alabama. Heard a lot about his leadership, his presence in the huddle. Showed that ability definitely lining up the defense at practice. He's definitely a green dot type player where you can just give him the calls and he's going to check in and out of coverages, check in and out of blitzes, things like that. He's definitely has command of that huddle. Does give up receptions even though he's a very good in coverage, but oftentimes he's going to position himself to limit yak, and he's oftentimes on the pass catcher's hips. He's not a great pass rusher from the linebacker position, but he makes up for that with his ability to coverage. And you're going to want a guy who's that good in coverage, not getting after the quarterback, but covering these tight ends and running backs on third down. Next guy is going to be Jojo Dolman from Nebraska, 6'1", 228 pounds. Another one of these Lions fans' favorite linebackers I've seen in some of their mock drafts. 4'6", 240 at the combine, 34.5-inch vert, and a 9.11 broad jump. Where he really excelled was on the field drills. Showed great change of direction in those drills. Did that with ease. He excelled in lateral movements. Very fluid overall with his body control and especially in his hips. He's going to be a modern-day linebacker in today's pass-happy NFL, definitely in sub-packages as well. He excels in coverage, and he started at Nebraska as a safety. He transitioned to linebacker after a few injuries, but this past year, he had an 87.8 coverage grade per PFF. He's got great football IQ, just like we talked about with Mumma. His ability to understand zone concepts and play in man or zone, he can do that easily. Can cover wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. He's a very good tackler in the run game too, but oftentimes struggles to get off blocks. because he doesn't have the best length. He's only got 30 and 3/8-inch arm length. But remember, he's a little bit of a tweener converted from safety to linebacker, so you're going to give up a little bit of that at times. Cons, he's a little bit of an older prospect. He's a 6-year senior, 25 years old once the season starts, and that ties in with this next one. He's got an injury history. He's overcome 2 ACL injuries, but obviously he's come back strong. He's still got great speed, great explosiveness, great hips like we've talked about. So this is definitely a guy that we can look at as a linebacker in that range that we talked about. And then the last one's going to be Kwai Walker from Georgia. This guy, the more and more I watch this guy, I'm really quickly becoming a draft crush of mine. 6'4", 240, massive. 4'5", 240, 32-inch vert, not the best, 10-12 broad jump. He's going to project best as a will linebacker at the NFL level, but where his impact is felt is at all 3 levels of the defense. He's great against the run, he's great against the pass, and he can get some pressure and get after the quarterback blitzing. Great run game, like we said, super strong, long, and tall, aids in his ability to see plays and diagnose them, and then with his length and his strength, he gets off blocks easily and gets downhill and wraps and tackles. Clogs running lanes well and can chase down running backs with his speed and pursuit. Some cons with his run game defense, he can often times over pursue, but that's something that can be coached and they can teach that, how to diagnose those plays a little bit better and not get burnt like that. Has all the tools to be a great cover linebacker too. Now with his size, this is what's really impressed me. He's shown he can cover tight ends and running backs in man, but there was times in film, playing in the SEC, as we know, one of the best conferences in college football, if not the best, which, we all think it is. He was lined up against wide receivers alone in the slot, and he held his own, definitely. He's very good with those underneath routes, staying on the receiver's hips, but he struggled a little bit getting downfield with his long speed and sticking with these receivers. Now, do we expect him to have to do that in the NFL? Most likely not, and where he excels is the things he's going to be doing in the NFL. Covering tight ends and running backs in the flats and in those underneath routes. So he's going to offer a ton of positional alignment and versatility, whether it be in the box, on the line of scrimmage, or covering a receiver in the slot, like we said. So there's 3 potential linebackers the Lions could be looking at, like we said, in that mid to late day 2, early day 3 range. You got any other linebackers you want to see? We're going to be talking about Darian Beavers and Domann Clark. Obviously, linebackers is a big need for the Lions in this draft. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll get to those in a future video. Go Lions!